the left tackle, Trent Williams.
All right.
Who else could claim best left tackle in the league? Who's his competition?
To me, and if you ask PFF, it would be David Bakhtiari. And if you look at contract situations, right, who did Trent Williams need to edge out to get that average per year, his petty request? I don't think it was all that petty. I think the man deserves it. I think he is the number one tackle in the league. When I look at what they said on Pro Football Focus in their rankings, they actually rounded the PFF grade down to 0.1% instead of 0.100% because Trent Williams was the number one graded tackle, but they put him at number 2 behind David Bakhtiari, right? Which doesn't make any sense if you're going by your own rankings and you rank him higher, but then you put him one lower. That, to me, that's suspect, but PFF is suspect in some regards. So I'm going by the eye test. And to me, both are technicians. Both have the ability to work with their hands incredibly. When they get in close on a player, if they can get their hands on a defender, forget about it. But when you look at operating in space, when I watch the tape of Trent Williams operating in space and taking out blockers at the second level, I just don't see that same ability from David Bakhtiari. So to me, it's a clear-cut 1 and then 2.
Yeah, I think it's just pretty obvious when you watch them both play that Trent Williams is the better athlete. He just moves better.
Right.
Probably is better. The only thing with Trent Williams is that he misses like 2 games a year, which is not exactly what you want from an offensive lineman. Usually those guys play every game. But still, I think it's fair to call Trent Williams the best left tackle in the league. I'm trying to think who else besides Bakhtiari would be in the conversation. I mean, I can't think of anyone. There's some good right tackles out there. It's got to be Trent Williams. So, yeah, that's a good place to start. It's what arguably the most important position on a football team other than quarterback.
Other than quarterback, I mean, definitely on offense, the most important position behind quarterback. Yeah, so, I mean, that is a solid start to it. And maybe I could give the edge to Bakhtiari if you look at one of the critiques for Trent Williams last year was feeling a little bit like a hired gun and not the face of the franchise that you might hope for a left tackle. And so if you're incorporating what type of teammate you have there, I could give a slight edge to Bakhtiari in 2020. But I think with that new contract, we're going to see a renewed energy from Trent Williams this year as a face of the 49ers franchise. So I'm optimistic.
I'm looking at some advanced stats here. Mm-hmm. Sys Data Hub is very good. I have some issues with Pro Football Focus. Mostly the fact that it's behind a paywall and I can't see what they're talking about. I don't like their grades. So I like advanced stats over grades. And this place is free. They have premium features that I don't have, but their free stuff says, I'm looking here, they're crediting Trent Williams with 6 sacks allowed in 2020, which is high for him. I mean, in 2018 he allowed 4, in 2017 he allowed 1, in 2016 he allowed 1. And honestly, remembering the season last year, there were some games where Trent Williams wasn't at his best. Most of the time he made it look easy, but I think it's fair to point out that he wasn't necessarily at his best last year. He was coming off a year layoff. Right. He was rusty at times. He needs to show that he's still dominant in pass protection because we've seen him as a run blocker. He runs like a tight end. It's really quite fun to watch.
It's crazy. I mean, he can destroy people at the second level. I would agree. To me, there was at least one game last year that stood out as an off game for Trent.
Philly.
Yeah,
he didn't play well against, in my opinion. And I know he basically blamed Nick Mullins for all of it, saying he didn't know where Mullins was going to be in the pocket. But one way or another, he was kind of getting pushed around in that game by, who's it, Derek Barnett? I mean, Brandon Graham. A lot of guys had a success against him. So overall, great season from him. But it is a discussion. There are other people. It is a discussion.
I think it's 1A, 1B, regardless of how you rank it. Whether you put Trent ahead or you put him in second place there, I think that it is that 1A, 1B scenario.